If any of you are considering tapping school and you think I've got too much going on in my life right now, you're gonna hear Joelle's story. And she could have definitely said that multiple times this year, but she didn't. And so Joelle, I would love for you to share where you were before tapping school. And
Well, thank you. I'm so excited for you to be on this journey with Jackie because Jackie is incredible. And I'm already going to tear up, but like, I don't think that I would be like completely as grounded as I am right now without Jackie. So thank you so much, Jackie. Rewind to go back to 2019. In 2019, I was in a hospital bed for 8 weeks and almost lost my life and was bleeding out to death and ended up getting diagnosed with bowel disease and ended up going on a biological that ended up saving my life. And it was a very, very, very sad and very scary time. And in 2019, my mother told me to watch, it was a documentary of some kind. And in the documentary, there were people tapping. And I remember laying in that bed as open-minded as I already was and am thinking, this is insane. As if these people think that you can just tap out that and tap out this and tap that and your life's just going to change. I just thought like that is definitely woo woo shit. And like, I'm never going to do that. And then everything happened over COVID, and over COVID, I was really searching for a new purpose, for something to dive into that I really felt like would help me and then therefore help my community. And so I had already taken some body talk training and knew that the parts of body talk that I liked the most were the tapping. And I was already tapping with my daughter who was in high school at the time. She would call me from like math class and she would be like, Mom, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. And she'd be in the bathroom stall and I'd have her put her phone on the stall and we would just like start tapping. And within like a minute, she would be feeling well enough to go back to her class. And so I knew I was into the tapping. And then one of my friends took your tapping school 2 years ago. And, I just said to her, like, what's the name of this gal? Because I knew I needed change and I was having a lot of resistance to trying to keep things or trying to get things to go back to the way that they used to be before COVID, which was why are people not coming to the studio anymore? I own a business and my business is Inner Peace Yoga. And over COVID, my business kind of got all muddled up and I had to leave the place that I was at for a really long time, like 11 years I was in this location. And I ended up building a studio on my home property and started to teach classes here. Why are the classes not filling up? Why is nobody coming to workshops anymore? And COVID really did do a number. And so I just kept thinking, okay, I want to go back to that. I want to go back to that. And there was so much resistance and it wasn't working. It just was not working. So I think the 4 days, and in those days, I was like, wow, okay, there's some shifts happening here. I don't know what they are, but like just energy shifts I could feel stuff in my body happening. My husband passed away. It'll be 2 years ago in October. And so I have been dealing with a lot of grief and a lot of pain in my body and just been trying to work through that as well. And I like decided, okay, I'm going to really focus on the pain that I'm having in my arm. And like after I think maybe 7 sessions, maybe even less, I could notice that the pain was gone like right after one tapping session. Like as soon as I had one session, I was like, okay, that is making a change. But then it was like after 7 sessions that it was like, okay, what in the F? Why is this feeling like this pain is going away? And like, I know about the mind and the body, and I was just having some aha moments. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to take this training. And I wasn't sure about how I was going to do it all. I wasn't sure about the finances. And I just thought, okay, this is something I'm going to put out there and everything is just going to work around it. And it did. And so I took the training. And so then I decided, okay, instead of going back to how things were, I'm going to revise everything and I'm going to change everything. And I didn't know what that looked like, but now here I am. I'm on this new journey and I have this elite membership that I'm running and that I'm tapping in 3 days a week and 2 times a week on Zoom. And I'm I'm diving into it. I had a lot of issues, as you know, we talked about it in every session with being on camera and with just like doing this. Like this makes me feel really uncomfortable, but I've been trying to do videos. Like I did a video the other day, and I think it was 15 times before I felt like it was acceptable enough to go out there. And even then, like I'm like, you just don't watch it because you're going to find 20 million things that are wrong. You better just tap on this right now. You better just start tapping. Yeah. And so, and then I want to share a couple of other things here. My baby sister passed away just a few weeks ago, which has brought on a whole other level of grief and loss for me and my family. And my youngest son and I, right after it happened, we went to the lake. And so he really watched me in some pretty raw emotions. And this one night we are heading to go get ice cream, and I was just bawling, and I was like seeing this beautiful sunset. And I looked over at my son, who's 10, and he just instantly started tapping on his hand. And he was like, even though my sister died, I love and accept myself anyways. And even though I feel all this pain right now, I love and accept myself anyways. And then like he went straight to the head. He was like, I love my mind and my body. I love my mind and my body. And you know, it was just the most sweetest thing to see that my 10-year-old boy was like, I was like, what? Where did you learn this? Who taught you that? And he was like, you, mommy. I watch you. I watch you help people. And so I'm like so excited and happy because I want to raise a boy who is in touch with their emotions and who is okay with being emotional and who can recognize their emotions. And like I cried so hard when he did that, like happy tears. But I was like, whoa, it was like a big aha moment that like I'm also shifting. And then last night, my daughter, who is also in my elite membership, just because she's a big supporter of me and a tapper, and she messaged last night saying that she's in her 5th year of university now. And she was like, I'm really stressed about math. I'm really stressed about math. I'm feeling overwhelmed about it. And I said, okay, sweetheart, you need to get on there and do a session. She said, I know I'm going to do one in the morning. And like, they know to go to it. And it's so great.
I am very speechless right now. I have watched you this past year get hit after hit of hard thing after hard thing. And you could have quit, you could have walked away, you could have said no. And you are someone who has risen above and beyond from every single situation. It's because you've showed up and you've tapped on yourself, you've asked for support. The community that we create in tapping school, you become like sisters, right? You're like, your sister passed away, like, and the community just came together. And shout out to the tapping school sisters that are here or on the replay. And the other thing I also want to celebrate you for is one of the things was like raising your prices, because you have a sold out practice. You are already had a successful practice and a business and people that came to you. And one of the things we tapped on was, charging more for your services because your value is increasing all the time. And you're like, I cannot do that. Like that feels impossible. That like 3 days later, I get a message. You'd be like, oh my gosh, I raised my prices and I'm completely sold out. Like all spots are filled. And I'm like,
yeah. Yes, I know. It's been mind blowing. And like, I had this one gentleman who he's been doing sessions with me, and I was like, okay, do you want to get some before the price is raised? And he was like, no, this is good. And I was like, oh, great. Yeah, great. Now he's never going to come back. And then the next week when he came back and my prices were raised, he's like, okay, now let's book 4 more sessions. And I was just like, oh, okay.
and this is just showing like the diversity of tapping, right? It's helped you through these hardest moments when you're in physical pain. It's helped you through grief. It's helped your children. You've brought it into your business with your prices. Like, Joelle, I just love you so much. I'm so, so grateful that you said yes to this, that we found each other at the right time. And that, I hope that, I know that this story is going to hit with somebody, that they're going to be like, holy moly, either I've been through that, I know someone that's been through that. If she can do it, I can do it.